So what is it that these little Fuji flashes offer that others don't? Nothing, really. I mean, they're slow recycle time. You know, the power is not great, maybe 20. Guide number at 20. You probably get 12 or 15 out of it. But having it so close to the lens works well. And it's strange, but you know, you do get red eye, but not as much as I would expect or would have thought. And I love the look, you know, it's that ring light kind of look without having a ring light around your lens. You know, not exact, not to that degree, but it's close. That style, if you will. So I used it in the studio because, you know, at an event is one thing, but, you know, what about in the studio? And I'm just using the one. And I started off with LEDs, 2 LEDs. Let me show them to you really quick. So this is the GVM 200, and right above it, I have another one. So I was using these 2 GVM lights with daylight. You know, you can see the window. It was a bright, good sunny day when I was shooting that yesterday or the day before, mixing up my days. Anyway, so I went from using 2 of these. Now you can see how close they are. Now these are rated at 25,000 lux at 1 meter. And I mentioned the rotolights, and on rotolights I got off their new EOS 2. I believe it's rated at 11,000 lux at 1 meter, and these are 25,000 lux at 1 meter. And this was through a softbox. So even if we cut this down in half, we're still at 12,000. We're still overpowering. And remember, this is a plugged-in unit. It's a, you know, brighter unit. No, it doesn't have as many effects and colors and so forth and all that kind of stuff that you would get off of a rotolight EOS, but it puts out some power. And with these, I was shooting at 400 ISO, 2.8 to f4 with daylight coming in, and 2 of these units. So, and again, they're both diffused, obviously, with soft boxes. But you know, someone made a comment on my video with the EOS and the Neos and stuff, and you know, I don't like them for weddings because it's shining at somebody's face in an event. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know, because they were one of their promo videos was using that at an event with the light on versus the flash. Now, granted, the EOS does flash, it does strobe, and they peaked that at 17,500. And again, it's not close to a 25,000 lux plug-in unit. So that's my issue with it. Like, don't get me wrong, I think these are wonderful for video, and I think the EOS, you know, I had a Neo 2, I think it was, and you know, it was nice, but it just didn't suit my needs in any which way, shape, or form. And there's, like I said, I'm not putting them down in any which way, shape, or form. I'm not. I'm sure they're fantastic lights, but the power-wise, you know, if I'm not happy with the power out of these, and I'm running 2 of them at 25,000, because I put these on a full blast, and yeah, I'm cutting them back because I have diffusers on them, but there's just no one in hell that's going to use these without a diffuser on them or a softbox, because it's a straight cob light. And then you have the argument of, well, you know, it's softer, the EOS is softer because it's bigger and whatever. You know, if you want to try them, but at $1,400 without a battery, just the light itself, and nothing else. But if you want the battery and the diffuser, it's $1,800, $1,799. That's a lot of money, and you know, you need 2. You can get away with one, but if you want any kind of dimension, you're going to need two. So, you know, that's $3,600. And you're going to be shooting at ISO 400 to 800, if not more. That's what, you know, for still photography, not for hybrid shooters or anything like that. I'm just saying for stills, you know, I'm not looking at LEDs, even the 25,000 ones, I'm not thrilled with. But I use them when I have to. And if I'm doing a little video, boom, I have these to use. Just my opinion on them. So I started off this shoot that I'm going to show you with two of these at full power. And yeah, they did great. There were nice lights. I was shooting at ISO 400 because I had to. And that was with the sunlight. And then I switched that little Fuji EF-X20 flash. Now this is a little pocket flash. And yeah, it takes a little time to recycle, but I was shooting at 1/64th and up to 1/8, I believe, power. I didn't wait for recycle because I was shooting at such low power, but it was putting out more light than two of these 25,000 units. And I know people are going to go, oh God, that's bullshit, but it's true. It's just speed lights are powerful little lights. And when you put them up against an LED, even an LED that strobes, you can't come close to the power, even in a tiny little unit like that. But I just want to show you what you can do in the studio with these, because I did show you these at an event, but a lot of people don't shoot events. They want to shoot studio stuff. So today I'm going to start just with the one unit, and then I'm going to add a second unit for another shoot. So we can just use two of these because, you know, they do optically slave. But even an optical slave with these little units would be fun. A great little pocket setup, if you will. But anyway, here's the shoot. If you have any questions, let me know. I did get red eye 1 or 2 times, and I want to show you that. It was strange on how I got the red eye, but I'll show you in the video. Otherwise, I didn't have any issue. I got a little tweak of color every once in a while, which was 2 seconds taking it out in Photoshop. But anyway, enjoy the shoot. If you have any questions, let me know. I do love these little lights, these little strobes. They're fantastic. You know, I have 2 of them for a reason, and not only for, you know, a 2 light setup, but as a backup, because you can't get them anymore. They've been discontinued a while. I think these are like 10 years old, but a strobe's a strobe. So anyway, enjoy the shoot. Well, this was a fun shoot. Like I said, I did start out with the 2 GVM 200s, and you know, the one is directly above my head as I showed you, and this one here, which is very, very close. And the shots were great. Don't get me wrong. I was shooting at ISO 400. You know, the fall off, the color, the light, it was beautiful. I have no issues with it whatsoever. But you know, even with 2 of these 200 watt units, I'm needing to shoot at ISO 400, and I'm at f2.8 on a 90mm lens. You know, I don't have any leg room. I don't have any play room in this, unless I wanted to go up to 800 ISO, which I don't. I never want to shoot at that in the studio, and I don't want to shoot at 2.8 90% of the time, just because of the way I shoot. But again, I have nothing wrong with LEDs, whether it's Rotolight or JVM or whatever. Now here's one with the flash, the little Fuji flash, but the windows are wide open. It's bright, it's beautiful, it gives a great light. And this is a nice fill flash, and it doesn't look like it's a ring kind of look. It's just filling in what I'm getting from the window. Now I'm going to close the shade on the window, so I'm just using the strobe itself, the Fuji strobe, to produce the images. So you can see, instantly you can see the difference there. It gives you that ring kind of flash look. Her pupils, you see they're a little bit bigger. They're not huge yet, but there's a little purple fringe in that because it's like almost a red eye kind of thing without being red eye. And I didn't get much red eye with this flash, which I was really impressed with. There's no like red eye reduction, you know, where it blinks 16 times before it takes the photo. It's just, you know, the larger the pupil, the easier it is to get red eye. But for some reason, at the event and in the studio here, while I'm doing the shoot, I didn't get red eye very often. I think I had it on 2 or 3 shots again, which is why I adore this flash so much. And I don't know what the scenario is with me not getting as much red eye. Maybe because it is a little bit above, but it is still close to the lens. And I love that look. Here's another one. I just took this out of camera. It's a little blown out, but with a little bit adjustment, little contrast, this would be absolutely perfect. So after this, we wanted to walk around the building. This is, it's a darker hallway. Lighting is a little iffy, but with the strobe, I'm using the strobe to fill the light. Period. I mean, this is all the little Fuji flash. At ISO 100. I'm at f4, I believe, or yeah, that one was f4, and this one I went down to 2.8. And it's a fantastic little flash. And when you're shooting at 1/64th in this flash, you really don't have that much recycle time. I think it's maybe a half a second, if that. And I'm getting enough power out of it, so I'm loving it. This one here, this room was dark with streaks of light coming from the window. But as you can see on the one side of her, it's dark, but I just wanted just a touch of fill, just to soften those shadows just a hair. And at 1/64th, it was beautiful. It worked fine. I believe I took it up to 1/32nd on this one, just to try to fill them just a little bit more. And then the next one I took up to 1/8 maybe, or 1/16th. Apologize. I don't record that kind of stuff with flashes, especially when it's a manual flash like this. But again, recycle time. If you're a full power, a half power, even a quarter power, it's going to take a little bit for recycle on such a tiny little flash with 2 AAA batteries. But if you're 1/16th or below, there is no recycle time. You get a ton of flashes out of this. So that's beautiful, perfect fill for the light that was in there. Now I'm back in the studio because I really wanted to attempt to get red eye. And it's dark in the studio. Her eyes are adjusted to the dark, so her pupils are really big. So if there's one way to get decent red eye, it's with huge pupils. And like I said, maybe 3 images. I don't understand it, but this one here, for some reason, I got beautiful, big, huge red eye. Maybe it was the angle of her head, maybe it was the height that she was at, but this is the shot. She's a little above the flash, she's looking away from the flash, and there you go. I have red eye out the kazoo.